Looks like a college eating.
College cheating.
Well, that's what guys is.
That's what I was thinking.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
And I know we are a little late, but a happy Women's Day to all the women in the audience. March 8, 1917 was the date when Soviet Russia allowed women to have granted them the right to vote. And this became the second nation in the history of the world. We want to guess the first nation to do so. Any guesses? The first nation to give women rights to vote.
Germany.
Yes, guess that. New Zealand in 1893. And US came in 1990. They passed the 19th Amendment to make women have the right to vote. And March 8 is celebrated throughout the world as International Women's Day, so that they recognize the contribution of women in cultural, political, and socio-economic fields. And it is also used to bring attention to the issues of women's equality, reproductive rights, and violence and abuse against women. Do you know the difference between equality and equity? Not stocks or equity. The equality says that everyone is equal. So I'll give equal resources and equal opportunities to everyone. But equity says that no, people are different. The needs and circumstances are different. The resources and opportunities to them should fit the needs and circumstances of those groups or people. So for example, I have seen in corporate world that women have been incentivized more to climb the corporate ladder faster, so that they can inspire other women to join back the workplace. Another example is that in India has the rule that we cannot determine the sex of an unborn child. And this law itself shows the difference between condition of women in countries like India versus condition of women in the world, the Western world, where the countries are more developed. And in the conversation of equity and equality, what we found in Western world that if you the more egalitarian the society was, more equity oriented, that we will treat women differently so that they become equal. We found out the gender pay gap between average man and average women increased. Why this was happening is because when men are more object oriented, and they used to pick jobs like engineering where you get paid based on the scale of customers. On the other hand, women which are more people oriented. So they used to choose jobs like doctor, lawyer, in which you can scale on the number of customers so much. You can only find a wealthy client and be more wealthy with them. But the average women was getting paid less in the Western world right now. On that happy note, I'll recite the 3 rules for this meeting today. Any Toastmasters meeting, we follow these 3 rules. First is, please do not talk about sex, politics, or religion in a way that can harm the sentiments of others. Second, please keep your phones on silent mode or switch it off for the duration of the meeting. And third, we have a sign also there, please do not enter or exit while the speaker is on stage. You can do so during the applause section. The next speaker I'm going to invite on the stage believes that women given the proper stage, opportunities and reach can change the world. Please welcome on stage the change maker of Sunshine Toastmaster, President Toastmaster Harshita.
I am a woman. I'm a wife. I'm a mother. And yet, I'm someone's child. I ask freedom, and yet I'm scared. I'm everything that I ever wanted to be, but I'm so much more. I am a woman. I am a goddess. But do people respect me that way? Do people listen to me? And do people hear me? Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, guests, and the beautiful woman sitting over here.
Good evening.
Are men and women equal? They say it doesn't matter if it's a boy or a girl, and yet they secretly pray for blue and cry when it's pink. They say a Lakshmi has been born, and yet they say she can't handle the finances. She doesn't know how to do the math. Where is the man of the house? They say you have the freedom of choice, and yet they decide the length of your clothes. They say pursue your education, live those educational dreams of yours, and then they get you married at 18. They say pursue your passions, but come back in time to cook dinner for everyone. They say live those dreams and they tie your feet with responsibilities. They say that you're equal at the workplace. All men and all women are equal. And yet, they don't let you into those coveted boy clubs. They say women can speak anything, they can say anything. And yet, they tell you don't say a word if your husband mistreats you. They say look up at the stars. And then they say look down, know your place, find your place. They say there's no price to how much I love you, and yet they prize you with the dowry that they pay. They say that women who have ambition are greedy and self centered, and yet if you don't work, you're lazy. They say you're the fairer sex, but do they treat you fairly? They say that you are the creator, you made life, and yet they say, what have you done? They say men are from Mars and women are from Venus. And to that I say, bring me to the same planet where we both are equal. Bring me to this world where I am equal at work, at home, and at the society. I say, bring me to this world where the doctor can tell me the sex of my child. A world where my daughter doesn't have to step out with pepper spray in her hand. A world where her words matter. A world where her words will make a difference. A world where she can shatter the glass ceiling everyone has put her out of her. Toastmasters is a platform where we become better communicators, we become better speakers. But I believe that more important than being communicators and speakers, it matters what do you have to say. Are you speaking about the right things? Are you standing up for the right causes? When you're given this stage, speak about things that matter. Today, as we celebrate Women's Day, I ask each of you to come and stand up for us. I ask you, why are the men sitting here, except for Marita, and why are the women sitting here? I ask you to come together and make women feel safer and stronger. And with this message and hope that sunshine will give us women all the opportunities to shine, I would like to open today's meeting. Our next speaker is someone I look up to. The way he talks about his wife, there's a shine in his eyes. He remembers the days that he wooed her and he got her to marry him. He genuinely respects her and loves her. And he is the man all of you should aspire to be. I would like to welcome our secretary to read out the secretary report today. Toastmasters.
Yeah. Good evening, Toastmasters and yes. Last week we had the meeting number 1190 and the theme was summer adventures. To start with, Ashutosh talked about how he had learned cycling with his sister and how he had spent his vacation there. And Toastmaster Harshita talked about how she has spent her time with her brother at her grandparents' house and how she learned swimming and bike and that changed her life. And you know, right? And she also gave us a message that we should keep aside some time for passion. That's what I do always. Yeah. And Toastmaster Hussein gave an overview of the trip planning, what he had done for his family. He also took us or gave us tips on how to do the planning better. That's what he did. And Toastmaster Jayaprakash gave his L1 P4 speech. He actually took us through the history of KGF. You know, like there are many unknown facts. He actually took us through all those things out there. How the Britishers exploited the miners there, and how the Indian government took it back, and there are different types of minings out there. And Toastmaster Shubhankar talked about, he gave his L2 of P3 speech where he had talked about how to win over a partner. I actually have missed that session, which I could have it. And, yeah, and he had talked about how a mentor has changed his life. You know, like yeah, that was, and how a mentor plays a key role in everybody's life. Toastmaster Arpita gave her L1 P3 speech, and she had took us through our thrilling experience of a trip to the Rome, and where they were stuck without money, without stay. I don't know how she got back home. That still remains as suspense. And Toastmaster Varnika did the table topics on that day. Yeah, that's it from me. Thank you.
I think we have some guests with us. We would love for you to tell us your name, how did you hear about our club, anything else you'd like to share.
Paranya, and I say Kanisandra. I've known about Toastmasters for a very long time now. He's one of my friends in Toastmasters, but he's in Canada, and he always talks about how proceedings are and the kind of topics he talks about and the idea of public speaking. I was very fascinated about it, and finally got the courage I needed to get here. I guess.
Wonderful. We're so glad you're here. And can I ask you, is your friend Aarti?
No, he's Manoj.
Manoj. Okay. We have another Toastmaster who is very legendary and he's got the can. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm looking me. One of my uncle actually told me about this place, so I thought I would stay with it and
Okay. What do you do in?
I'm a doctor. I just finished my
Wonderful. Okay. Welcome. Would you like to introduce yourself?
My name is Irfan. I know about Toastmasters also for a while. When I'm part of debating also in my college. I all the time now.
Wonderful. And I know you're not so much of a guest since you're part of the family, but we'd still like you to introduce yourself.
Sure. Hi everyone, I'm Kristen. I'm Marita's friend, and I'm a software engineer by profession. I work at a company called Syntex, and I also have a company of my own which is called Multiverse. I'm glad to be here, and especially for today's theme, Women's Day. I was pretty excited to come and see these speeches today.
To take this meeting forward, we have a beautiful woman. She gives us emotional speeches, she moves us, but she shows us strength in all her speeches, in her actions. Week after week, she's improved and she's become such a spectacular speaker. One of our strongest, truly. She is a hardworking mom, she works hard during the day, and she even wants to pursue her masters. She is the true woman. I would like to welcome our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Arun.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
And a very warm welcome to all the guests and Toastmasters. Today is a very special meeting we have. It's all about this beautiful creation of God called women. So, how are you all feeling?
Great.
Women's Day is all about celebrating achievements and acknowledging the significance of women and their contribution to society. It's all about knowing them in deep. And if you see that these ladies who are here are incomplete without a lot of stuff in our society. So, the contribution that they give us is something remarkable, and we need to really acknowledge. And this is that day that we give that acknowledgement. So, wherever we go, there's Women's Day. And do you see that Women's Day is celebrated the way the life is? Have you seen a celebration without women? Do you think it can be a celebration? It's something that we are incomplete without a woman in a celebration. Right? And as I told, it's a beautiful, like women are a beautiful creation of God, and they just uh, and so it's, as I told, it's a feeling of gratitude for every woman out there, and especially for the women who are very supportive and empowering all the other women. So, can anyone tell there's something more important than this empowerment, rights, and equality? Can anyone guess what is it? Okay, it's a reminder for all of us to celebrate the power of feminine that's passed on through generations through their unconditional love, perseverance, support, gratitude, and sacrifice. It's to those women that we need to like bow down for all the contributions that they have done and be that people who support them. That being said, I would like to open to our guests and Toastmasters to share something about that one special woman behind their lives and that one quality that made you stand for what you are. Can anyone take up or should I pick up? Who's that one special woman and what quality in her brought you and pushed you to who you are?
Yeah, so I talk about my mother. I think she is the strongest person I know. The quality that inspires me about my mother is whatever might be the situation or whatever things is against us, she will figure out a way to come out of it and take us along. So that was inspiring.
Great. Any guests want to give a try? Absolutely.
If it's okay, I'd like to talk about a man who actually made me feel more of a feminist in his So it's my dad. We come from a line where there is a lot of communism and atheism in the family. And he turns out to be, I think, the biggest feminist that would exist in our family. And so now that I understand the concepts of it and I look back, I can't think of a day when I was differentiated because I was a girl or because I was a lady or because I'm a woman. To an extent where he didn't even ask me to get married to a boy, that was the requirement. So I think in retrospect, now that I understand the concepts, I'm really able to appreciate every single day of what he's taught me and what he did not teach me. I'm really glad and thankful for that.
It's for those gentlemen who are here, without which I think women is not complete, right? So now let's give a round loud of applause to all the women in our life who have made our life little glorious, and to all the beautiful ladies in sunshine that's shining every day. Thank you. For those who don't know about Toastmaster International, it's a non-profit organization which promotes public speaking, communication, and leadership skills. It's headquartered in US and then it operates at thousands of clubs and its members. Specifically about Sunshine, was founded in the year 1999, and we have amazing set of people who blended to be officers in district, division, and area level, and as I told, amazing people to network, grow, and learn. So now, to get the clarity of the meeting, Toastmaster meeting beat any meeting. It has three different parts. Firstly, prepared speech session where our team members come on, prepare in advance, come and deliver here for a speech for 5 to 7 minutes. And secondly, we have a table topic session, which is going to be a fun session where anyone in the audience can come here, talk about a topic that is assigned by our table topic master, which is for about 2 minutes. And lastly, a general evaluation, which is a very important session where our general evaluator will evaluate the entire meeting and give us report at the end of the session. Now, all are ready for the meeting. Let's start our meeting.
Yes.
Okay. Now, next person is going to evaluate the our meeting. He is one of the oldest members of Sunshine, though he's young to most of us. He is a lawyer by profession. He will be regulating our speech and how the meeting goes through his knowledge on public speaking and through his different laws that he's going to specify for today. And is the women or the value that is added from in his life versus from his mother and sister. So I would like to welcome our beloved Toastmaster Anirudh for general evaluation.
Thank you so much, everyone. Great, wonderful evening to be. I'm Anirudh, and I will be your general evaluator for this evening. My role is to start the meeting on time, also get everyone to do their best, and also see that if needs an improvement, then we facilitate it as well. So push you a little further and say that you can do it. And to help me out, I have four great, beautiful people. All are men on the stage. Start with a person who, every time I see him, brings a smile on my face. Time on Toastmaster Rakesh.
Good evening, everyone. I'm myself Rakesh and time for today's meeting. There should be a limit for everything. If you cross the limit, there will be a problem. So, for an example, for a speaker, the allotted time is 6 minutes. If you take a 10 minutes, the 4 minutes will be extra. So, if everyone taking a more time, the meeting will not end by 9 p.m. It will go to the 10 p.m., 11 p.m. So, I am here to tell your time limits so it will avoid the uncertainty in the club. So these are the cards I'm going to show. The green card means you have passed the minimum eligibility to be on stage, and yellow card it means that you are approaching your deadline. Red card it means you have to stop your speech. And for the club benefit, I'm going to tell the uh, time limit for the speakers. For table topic sessions, it's a 2 minutes. 1 minute will show the green. 1 yellow, 2 minutes red card. Ice breaking speech is 4 to 6 minutes, 4 minutes green, 5 minutes yellow, 6 minutes red. And other speeches it is 5 to 7 minutes, 5 minutes green card, 6 minutes yellow card, 7 minutes red card. And for evaluator it's 2 to 3 minutes, 2 minutes I will show green card, 2.5 yellow card, 3 minutes red card. Thank you everyone.
Toastmaster Rakesh. Next, we have a person who has last 4 months has changed the most, I would say. We have the grammarian Toastmaster Jayaprakash.
Being on to this job. Today I am the grammarian, and it's my role and responsibility to pay close attention to the speaker's language, improper and also proper. And it's also my duty to introduce the word of the day. The word of the day is enigma. Enigma is something or a person who is difficult to understand or mysterious in nature. Has anyone seen the movie Imitation Game?
Yes.
So they invented a machine called Enigma, and you can get the reference on that as well. The proper use of the sentence, use of the word in the sentence is the newspaper was filled with the enigma of how the plane crashed. I request everyone to use the word of the day in a purposeful way. Back to you.
Thanks for the word, Prakash. Next, we have a person who I know him just for 3-4 months, 5 months now, but we become very close. Can we have Toastmaster Sudhir on the stage?
Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. Today I'll be the art counter. We all use our filler words, gaps, and for me, like I stop. Like for me, that's a filler word for me. Therefore, like we all are using and many of those words, and it's my duty to actually I record all those which you unconsciously say. I'll come back at the end of the meeting and and argue with the detail and report of it. The same thing I stop, right? That's my process. Thank you.
So much responsibility and handling a person. When I see him, I feel not calm. Give me have Toastmaster Aditya as well.
Good evening, Toastmasters and dear. Listening is to pay attention to all the speakers and to all the days of table topic speeches. So being a good listener is as good as being a better speaker also. So the main difference only there is a bit of a difference between listen and hearing. Well, we hear in hearing we hear sounds, but to accommodate the sounds and to in, articulate themselves is to form the listening. So I'll be noting down important bits of the speeches and getting back at the end of the meeting. Thank you.
First thoughts is a thank you to the committee to come up with themes, very relevant theme every single week. And I would like to thank all my four tag role takers as well. Please help me out so that we can have a beautiful session in the end of the day. With that, I'd like to give the stage back to the very adorable Toastmaster, Aruna.
Before we get into the speaking session, I would like to welcome our guests. Can you please stand up and introduce yourself?
Thank you. I'm Rakshita. I have worked for a year and now I'm like taking a little gap to pursue higher education.
Would you tell us how did you know about Toastmasters?
One of my friend was in Toastmasters when I was in college and she suggested that it would help me improve my speech and get rid of stage fright and all that. So I just looked up Toastmasters International and found one online.
Very cool. We are glad that you're here. So before we call out our first speaker, we need to introduce our evaluator. So our evaluator is a committee member. She has this eminent, she is an eminent speaker, a very renowned speaker for Sunshine. She has this distinct style where she complements all her dresses with this portions. I've noticed this, and that's something unique in her. And according to her, Women's Day is all about celebrating women who are crossing the limitation of their physical strength and being equivalent to the men. And all the moms are the epitome of women. That's what she told me. So I welcome Toastmaster Pita to give about the evaluation of the first speaker.
Thank you, Toastmaster. A very good evening to all the Toastmasters and guests, and especially speaker of Toastmaster pages. He will be attempting his L1 P1 project, his first icebreaker. The purpose of today's speech will be that the member gets to introduce themselves to the club and learn the basic structure of a public speech. Timer, please note that the duration of the speech is 4 to 6 minutes. And all the best to the speaker and back to the
So I welcome our speaker one, Toastmaster Tejas, for a ice.